Tonight's story begins with a strange and terrifying legend. A tale of a road unlike any other, a place where every turn, every tree, every scene appears again exactly as it did minutes before, as if the path is looping around you, pulling you back into its memory. Sometimes hours collapse into minutes, sometimes minutes stretch into something that feels like days, and only one question remains. Do you want to hear the true tale of this mysterious road? This is Whisper from History, where forgotten voices rise again. The road began as an ordinary stretch of fading asphalt, winding through quiet hills and silent plains, yet those who traveled it spoke of a feeling that something ancient stirred beneath the gravel and dust. At first the stories sounded like wandering tales, whispered by exhausted drivers who had been on the highway for far too many lonely miles. But as the accounts multiplied, a strange pattern emerged, and the endless road began shaping its own legend. They said the road changed length depending on who entered it. A familiar 20-minute drive could stretch into hours. Some travelers insisted they had driven for what felt like an entire night, only to find their fuel unchanged, and their watches frozen in time. But what if time itself was bending in ways no one could fully understand? Long before the modern highways split across the landscape, traders and settlers followed this same path, guided by rudimentary maps and instinct. Old diaries found in forgotten trunks describe nights when the moon refused to move, and the horizon kept shifting as if the travelers were walking through a vast, breathing maze. One journal wrote, "The land repeats itself, as though the earth has lost its memory." But who or what was causing the land to forget? By the early 20th century, automobile travelers became the new witnesses. Families on their way to distant towns reported seeing the same solitary tree appear again and again, as if the road circled through invisible loops. A young mechanic claimed he saw his own taillights flicker ahead of him, as though another version of himself was trapped farther along the highway, unable to escape. But this was only the beginning. Truck drivers who crossed the route during late hours spoke of a quiet that felt unnaturally heavy. Engines hummed, yet the air felt hollow. Some described headlights stretching across impossible distances where no vehicles existed. One driver said he passed a farmhouse with a broken fence 3 times, even though he never turned his wheel. How could a straight road bend into its own shadow? As the phenomenon gained attention, investigators arrived with measuring tools, surveying equipment, and a determination to prove the tales wrong. They marked distances, calculated slopes, and timed drives, down to the second. Yet every attempt ended in contradictions. Records showed the road shrinking and expanding between measurements, as if mocking the certainty of human instruments. The truth was far darker than anyone imagined. Locals shared older stories handed down from elders who refused to travel after sunset. They spoke of a time when the land was said to hold restless spirits wandering in search of unfinished journeys. Some believed the ground itself carried memories of those who perished during migrations, droughts, and long-forgotten tragedies. When night fell, they said, the road awakened, and the past walked beside the present. But what was really moving through those shifting miles? Travelers who experienced the phenomenon often described a particular moment when the world felt suspended. The wind paused, the lights dimmed, the road ahead blurred into a pale ribbon stretching beyond the known horizon. Some felt watched by something not hostile, but deeply sorrowful, as if the road carried the weight of thousands of unspoken stories. Could the endless road be a meeting point between what once was and what should never return? In the late decades, researchers proposed theories ranging from magnetic anomalies to uncharted geological faults. They noted irregular readings, areas where compasses trembled, and signals faded. But nothing explained why the human mind seemed to stretch and warp along this path. Why memories felt distorted. Why distances lost meaning. Why the road refused to stay still. Even now, drivers who ventured there speak cautiously. Some say they reached their destination hours before they should have. Others swear they were delayed without losing fuel or daylight. A few turn back halfway, convinced they are being gently guided away by a force they cannot name. And so the endless road remains, a place where time drifts, where footsteps of those long gone echo faintly against the whispering gravel, a place where the horizon folds and unfolds like a restless dream. Those who travel it return with a quiet look in their eyes, as though they have glimpsed something hidden behind the curtain of the ordinary world, something that refuses to be measured or mapped, something that waits patiently along the winding miles of the endless road. If you ever find yourself walking down a lonely road, and you feel as though the path is silently watching you, then maybe you too have stepped near the endless road, a place where only one question lingers in the air. Will you reach your destination, or will this road quietly claim your story as its own? If this tale made you think, then make sure to subscribe to the channel and explore our playlists. More unsolved and dark stories are waiting for you there.